Number 11.
Alright, at the number 11 spot, I have Grand Theft Auto 5. So going in, being Grand Theft Auto 5, uh, you know, after seeing what Grand Theft Auto 4, brought to the table, I was kind of like, oh, hopefully, 5 steps it up from there. And it did for me, at least. I love the characters, or at least some of them. You have Franklin, who's kind of like the gangster, and, he does, he just goes out there and just, tries to make his money to, pretty much, live off it. And then you have Michael, who is the guy who's, all purposely rich, has all the money, or at least from what he has. And then, had his, a pretty bad family. If you play the game, you know what I mean. And then you have Trevor, who's pretty much the crazy guy of the group, who, he does whatever he wants to. It doesn't matter, what it is. If he sets his sights to it, he just does it, and he's all pretty crazy. So, going in, I had really high hopes for it, and it pretty much met, my hopes of the game, of what, Grand Theft Auto should have been. Bigger world, more things you can do in the game. They still haven't implemented any of the, stuff you've seen from San Andreas, but you get most of it. You have your changing of your suits and all that. You have, fixing up your cars and all that. And then, there's a pretty cool little aspect to the game too. The fact that you could, play with the stock markets and stuff like that. Fortunately, I'm not really good at that, so I kind of leave that alone. So, but what I heard is you can make a lot of money off of that. But like I said, the game itself was just plainly awesome. The storyline itself was kind of it's just kind of chugging you as along. But I think the finale, if you get to the end, you actually get to choose between a few choices. But if you choose the one that, I'm pretty sure everybody pretty much chose, that ending was pretty awesome. And then, like I said, it's open world. You have things you can do. You can go golfing. You could go, you race against people and all like that. Triathlon and stuff like that. Just random things you can do. Go hunting if you wanted to, and all that. And then you can switch between different characters. And that was the coolest part. It was, switching between maybe Franklin, and then going to Trevor, and then, Trevor waking up in the middle of the, that day or nighttime, and he's drunk and he's like half naked. It's just stuff like that you find in the game that's awesome. And then you also the fact that you have, what are they called again? Strangers and freaks. And, there's just some weird things that could happen. Like, I was doing this mission, and I finished up this mission where, or actually, it was a freak that I followed. It was Franklin, and it's that chick that likes to do the triathlon and stuff. Well, you actually do the triathlon, and then when you're done, you actually, if you walk a little bit to the left, and then you actually meet up with this lady who's getting buried, and just stuff like that. It's pretty cool, and then you rescue her and then you take her somewhere. But just things like that pop up in the middle of the game that you don't even notice it. You'll just be like looking at your map like, oh, it's flashing. I'm gonna go over there and check it out real quick, and then you head over there and you you just go and they give you like weird missions and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. The game itself, like I said, a storyline was okay. It wasn't just, it was just kept like. All I really wanted to do with the game. I mean, the game for itself, is awesome, but it also has some criticism for the game too. But that's just me personally. I would really liked for them to have more of the heist things. I know they were going to add that to the multiplayer, and I'll talk about that next. But I wish you could do a little more of the heist. That was the coolest part of the game to me, at least, was planning out the heist. Picking who do you want to, go as your driver, who do you want to go as your gunman, and all that. And if you want a guy who's really good, but takes up more of your money when you have to give to him when you're done with the heist, or you want to pay a guy who's not that great and he takes up less money, or he wants less money, and then you pick, and it kind of gives you kind of a a choice, and then kind of happens as you go. If you pick a guy who's good, nothing messes up that much. I mean, it's pretty much a smooth sailing for you, and then if you pick a guy who's not that great at like a gunman or something, he'll mess up and he'll drop some money and stuff like that. So that's pretty the coolest part. And then you also have the multiplayer I got to get into. Unless you're unless you're playing with other people or like your friends or your cousins or people it's not that fun. I mean, you go in there, you just fool around, people kill you and all that. But the coolest part was playing it with my brother and my cousin and his friend. And we're just fucking around and oops, I don't know I want to say that, but we were just messing around, and we get to a point where we're like, oh, let's just go rob a bunch of stores and stuff like that. And we go and rob, we hit up like 3 or 4 different stores, and we finally get caught because we messed up, and and so all of us died. But that was the coolest part, is just going around, doing things with your buddies and stuff like that. Robbing banks, not banks, but hopefully that's a thing they'll add. But robbing robbing stores, going or grocery stores, just say, or stuff like that. You go and you just run missions with them, and you get money. And the more money you get, or the more rep you get, the more things you can buy and all that. So, So like I said, Grand Theft Auto, all in the package, was an awesome game. It would have been up higher in my list, but like I said, there's a lot of what I thought were better games than Grand Theft Auto 5. So, like I said, Grand Theft Auto 5 is number 11 on my spot, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon for number 10.
If you want my advice, give this shit up. You work hard, screw over everybody that you love. Hurt, rob, kill indiscriminately, and maybe, just maybe if you're lucky, you become a 3-bit gangster.